Stream Marathon. That was a terrible start. Someone take over from me. Oh God, save me.
I can take over. Hello, I am the Space Quest historian, and welcome to the SQH Stream Marathon. What you're watching right now is the lovely Resulka kicking off the first, what I assume will be an annual tradition. We're not entirely sure. Let's see how this goes in 11 hours. 18 hours, sorry. See how this goes. But we do have for you, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, 9 streamers playing the adventure games of 2018, celebrating, in fact, that adventure games are being made and have still not died, as far as I'm told. And all of this is benefiting Girls Make Games. So if you go to streamlabs.com/SpaceQuestHistorian and throw any sizable donation added, or minuscule, I don't care, it will end up in the pockets of girlsmakegames.com. We will see nothing of it. There will be no proceeds. There will be no delays. It goes straight into their PayPal account. So please do that.
I am a girl that makes games.
Well, we do have a girl that makes games as our first contestant, so to speak.
Tell them what I've won.
You've won the chance to play Not Tonight with the guest commentator.
Resulka.
That would be Richard Cobbett.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
No, it was just
it's just me talking to myself. That's what this is.
Oh, cool.
Of course.
Maybe you should take over at this point.
Yeah, I'm joined by the lovely Richard Cobbett and our friend here. What was it? Troll Spearmint is what I was planning on calling you earlier. Because usually when he introduces me, he gets my name wrong.
Yes.
But yes, no. So we are with Troll Spearmint, the Space Quest historian, and
Piermont, Lady Piermont.
Other flavors of condom are available.
Alright, so, you know who we are, you know that we are raising money. What you might not know is that this game is called Not Tonight, and this came out this year. And our dear friend here, Richard Cobbett, wrote most of the dialogue for this game. And
I wrote all of it apart from when people say "here is."
Yeah. There's a couple of typos, but, things happen. They will eventually all be patched out. But the actual heart of this game is beautiful. It's like Papers, Please meets Brexit, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what every other person has said. And I love this game.
I mean, that is basically the game.
Yeah.
There is no shame in it. Papers, Please was awesome. Yeah. And I think we think this one is a bit different. Certainly in terms of sort of tone, and it's more of a comedy. But there is no shame in being like Papers, Please.
Indeed.
Which is good, because it is quite like Papers, Please.
A little.
And as someone who does a day job that involves making sure that things are correct, I actually find this weirdly to my bent. And we're actually picking this up rather than going straight for the beginning of the game, which is what most people show. We are picking up from Act 2. So I'm going to hit resume now.
So you probably do a story so far for people who don't know the game?
Yeah, so far I'm this really jazzy lady in a heart shirt and these really big pants, and you don't really care about that. So basically we are a British citizen that we are no longer considered British citizen because our parents are European. And they basically want to do the really super hard Brexit by saying that people that are born of European parents and grandparents need to get out of there. But because we don't... Yeah, you might explain this better.
Yeah, based the premise is that England's being taken over by a far-right party called Albion First, totally not the Conservative Party, and they've started up this super Brexit called Britain Alone. And so basically, if you don't have at least 2 generations of citizenship, you are out, at least unless you can pay your way. And that means, for the main character, they've been assigned a job as a bouncer, and they have to kind of keep making money in order to persuade their parole officer, effectively JUP, to let them stay in the country, while juggling work as a bouncer, kind of several different clubs, and also handling all the many somewhat humorous but also dehumanizing horriblenesses of post-Brexit society. It's very tongue-in-cheek, but with the annoying fact that every time we would write a joke, some politician around the world, Trump, would actually go and do it. So, yeah.
Well, is it...
And but anyway, we should join the actual action. This is after they've been there for a month, so they've kind of paid their way for a while. Their neighbour Milana is kind of outside their front door, looking for a favour, which definitely won't cause any problems at all.
No, she's a sweet lady.
With an unusual accent.
And she calls us, what's it called, by a number, which is always great. Oh, we're 5 months here, not 1 month. Because,
oh yeah, 5 months. Well, you've done like 1 month of actual game, and then we jump forward a bit.
Yeah, and she's married to a fellow called Viclav. Viclav's just a fool who loves disco, and he's in jail.
And she's definitely not in part of the revolution.
No. Oh, she has needs. You are welcome to come inside, my love. No, oh yes, the piano.
Yes. My apologies quickly to the members of the chats who are seeing themselves being retweeted endlessly by the Restream bot. I am turning off the relay mode, which apparently seems to be copying every thing that you write. It said it was in beta, so hopefully the chat will behave a bit better now. So all you can do is try. I've just unchecked a box, which is which also has something to do with the game we're playing. That's a lot of unchecking and checking boxes, as far as I'm told. So give it a try. Let's see what happens.
Apparently, we need to play Big Bloody Boobs.
Maybe no!
Today. Maybe not today.
No. Combo number 8. We've talked about this.
And I'm going to apologize for my very squeaky chair. It's at the end of its life. I'm going to try my best not to move too much, but it will be occasionally heard. So.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate? We have to appreciate sexy Cedric in the face cam. Oh, God.
It's nighttime here. I've been at work all day. I just basically decided I'm not doing that. But I always have a picture of sexy Cedric that I put together, and my foot's in a cast.
Yes. Basically, you went to help Milana move her piano, and it didn't quite go as planned.
And my door's
missing. This definitely won't cause problems.
I don't have a door.
These are all things that are uttered by people moving into their first dorm room. I had to move a piano. I have no door.
And apparently we were manic, so we were put under. And they drugged me and put a cast on me. And replaced my blood.
Jesus!
And some microsurgery to get rid of my organs. And,
a spot of microsurgery.
Yeah, just a spot.
This guy is one of my favourite characters, just because when I wrote so that I kind of forgot all of his dialogue, and so when I started playing the game for the first time, it was like I was seeing like the jokes, like even though I'd written, it's like I didn't remember it, and so he's got a line coming up in his next appearance, which had me laughing at my own jokes, and that's kind of embarrassing, but I think also quite a good sign.
I love that. I love when you write something and you just sit there and you start chuckling at it and you go, I'm not supposed to laugh at my own jokes, and then you just start chuckling some more and reread it and go, it's still funny. And then you wake up the next day and hate yourself and go, that was never funny.
I love the fact.
Well, I had the same thing with The Long Journey Home. So there was so much text in it, and I wrote it all so quickly because obviously there was mountains of it that when I was actually playing the game, I'd forgotten half of the individual lines. And so, like, occasionally the aliens would give me a line which I'd written, which still surprised me in a good way.
Ah, now that is the mark of having too much to drink while writing. Being an excellent writer is still surprised by your own brilliance. Yes.
We had a few people asking. Yeah, got always new bills coming. We had a few people asking why the guy is called Jupp, the dodgy parole guy, and the simple answer. Well, no, the simple answer is that I was listening to the news quiz while I was writing him, so it is actually Miles Jupp.
Yes,
not based on him. It was just like that sounds like a douchey name. And so, sorry, Miles.
You heard it here first.
Okay, let's
Sorry, Miles.
And we're going to the tiki head for the first time.
Yeah, the tiki room.
I was just getting distracted by the fact that the bullets on that list of notes looked like little O's. So I was just going, every line starts with O.
Pretty much. Yeah. Sorry.
Yay! Yeah, I wrote the script for the game. It's not my concept, but I sort of did all the dialogue.
Yeah, funnily enough, I didn't know about that when I started playing it, and I was coming to you going, Richard, a game you really might like. It's our type of humor.
Oh, it took so long because basically all of the bar owners effectively have the same template, which is that you do 3 jobs and then you get like an item or whatever is in their location, and trying to kind of come up with like sort of 12 different variants of do 3 jobs for me and, you know, become my head bouncer. By the end of it, sort of started.
God, I love Dave.
Dave's cute.
Yeah. Although weirdly enough, why does their toilet lead straight into their main room? That's just asking for trouble.
Well, it's not very well designed.
No. I'm just gonna go pull it now.
Where's their toilet? Oh, is that the pipe from the toilet?
It's the sewage release pipe.
Ah, neat.
The gimmick of the tiki head is you got sort of 2 different owners, Jonesy and Bonesy, and you basically sort of choose one of them by sabotaging the other by
they're the same
dumping out.
I mean,
Don't give away the top secret spoilers.
It just looked like Mario was gonna pop his head out of it.
It's a me, shithead.
It's a me, shitty head. Hello, you have a drugged clane? No, a clogged drain.
Out you
yes.
go.
Good morning.
I don't have the reject button. Yeah. You're French. Out of here. No.
Be gone, Frenchy. Be gone, Frenchy.
It does look like crap. I agree with you. Sir, you need a better shirt. Oh, lady. Still, you need a better shirt.
I don't know what to do with the background, so I can say it without being smart, but I love the backgrounds of this game.
Oh yeah,
there's so much wonderful detail in it. It was quite funny when we did the beta, which is like the first week or 2 weeks or so. There was like a poll where people could submit what they liked the most, and one of the most popular things was in the background is a sign that says "Fuck UK," and that was what people were specifically calling out. Yay, Shannon!
Hello, Shannon.
This is definitely not this game's equivalent of Yorkie Costata or whatever his name was. Shannon, the teenager who desperately wants to get into all of the clubs and somehow never has the right qualifications.
Off you go, you dirty Irish girl.
Nice shirt.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't also. No, Shannon, no.
Hey, we have Adventure Game Geek in the chat. Happy adventuring, going to Tower of London today, you know, to chop off some heads, but should be able to stop by later and donate. Maybe you could steal the crown jewels for the... Oh, yeah, run off.
If you want, you could do the research with Tracer's Gate, and...
Jesus.
There's a deep dive for you.
Oh, God. The restream chat still seems to be under the impression that it should be reposting every chat message in the actual stream. I have turned it off so it doesn't do that in the actual recorded, or in the actual Twitch chat and YouTube chat. Sadly, it means you can't see what each other are writing. So.
Our dear friend Ikifu has just mentioned that the donation ticker is working. Does that mean that we just received our first?
Yes, it is working. My God, Ikifu threw $25 at us, which is applause-worthy, seeing as he's also one of the streamers coming up later this evening. So yeah. Oh, Summer says, "Can we tweet? We're live." Yeah, that might actually be a good idea.
Yeah, that might be a very good idea.
We're actually live and have been for 15 minutes.
And we are currently hosted on my channel as well. Hello, people who follow the Resulka. Come and see the shirtless man. Shirtless, dirty man. Girl, you're underage. Get out of here.
Typing out,
shirtless
we
man.
are live.
You are also underage. Take your shirtlessness away from here. Yeah.
Why do you not like your shirtlessness?
Well, he's underage. I'm not going to let him into a club. And you are from the wrong country. Yeah. God, I love the voices in this game.
It was quite funny when it first came out. We had a few people saying that the villains, Albion First and Jup and sort of similar, they were sort of saying that they weren't evil enough for some people's tastes. And it kind of got to the point where I don't think I can write them any more evil and still have this be a comedy.
Yeah.
It is ultimately a comedy. It's a very dark comedy, but it is, a comedy. And, we had to sort of cut a lot of stuff out because reality basically kept on making it not funny. Like we had one section where there were kids in cages. And the idea was they really sort of celebrated to be a good thing because they didn't require as much metal for the bars as grown-ups.
Sounds about right.
I'm still tweeting, so that's why I can't react to anything that's happening.
Oh, we just got home from work. And I'm a goody two-shoes because I'm a... Oh, message. Who am I message from?
Oh, 5 months in limbo, I await news. Oh, more jobs, bills, back to the grind.
Oh, the tiki head,
oh,
who to work for.
Oh, Shannon's back again, that definitely fits.
Shannon's back again, and that message is never going away. Do I have any more bills? No.
Is co-commentating a word?
Yeah, I think it is.
It is now.
Jup's here.
Ah, Jup.
Juppy
This is basically
writer.
Yeah, this is basically the guy who's simultaneously taking your money to let you stay in the country, but also doesn't like you much.
Snuggly as a bug.
Yeah.
Oh god, I love his voice. Yes. Old Officer Jup must have gone soft. To be fair, he's not particularly hard, is he?
Well, one of the things with one of the things with Jup and with like a lot of the other xenophobic characters is very specifically they don't use nationalist slurs. So like there's no Polacks or wetbacks and things like that. We want to kind of keep it a bit lighter than that. So it's always sort of stuff like you absolute croissant.
My sweet croissant.
And the funny thing is that by the end of the game, he's running out of foods, and that's based on reality because so was I. And so he ends up sort of starting to actually having to sort of use obscure Polish dishes on someone, but they're having to explain exactly what they are.
I love my new hat. I love it.
Yes, I have a question about your new hat. Why are you wearing poo on your head?
Because I can.
It's wax style.
It's super whack.
I agree with. Why is your one foot in a cast? What happened?
I dropped a piano.
Dropped a piano on it.
Oh, you dropped a piano. Oh, that's the whole backstory I wasn't paying attention to. Yes.
Oh yes, I'm gonna get a more comfortable bed because I've got some money on me before I actually need it.
That whole thing about calling people by foods names and such reminds me a bit of that Scrubs thing where they were running out of girls' names by the end of season.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But there was one episode where they just threw away like 10 or 15 girls' names for JD. It's just like we're never gonna run. We ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also had the other one where they were mocking him with this in song.
Yes.
But it was important because part of the trick with a game like this is you want to convey the feeling of like sort of the xenophobic state, but you don't want players to think that it's actually aimed at them. And the trouble is that is a very, very thin line. Now, obviously, we kind of sort of cheesed a bit by basically being very, you know, comedic, and so it's kind of a bit more obvious. But we didn't want anything. But we didn't want anything that was actually going to offend people, because even if you sort of say, well, you know, it's a word that people use, if you hear it all the time in your real life, you're going to sort of treat it differently, you know, to someone who never hears it. And so, you know, it was kind of like important that nobody was kind of actually, you know, feeling targeted by the game.
You filthy Brexiteers, are you listening?
Yeah. All right.
Well, the thing is that kind of goes down with the Brexit as well. You've got characters like Dave, who's like the first pub owner, who's sort of basically like, he's like the friendly face of xenophobia, which is that he's a nice guy, but he's just internalized this idea of us and them. And even though he's trying really hard to be a nice guy, you know, he keeps on sort of slipping accidentally, but in a way which is just kind of, you know, adorable.
Adorable slipping of xenophobia. Wow.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, he clearly doesn't mean it. You know, he's got the British, he's got like the English flag up on his wall, and you know, he sort of says a lot of the lines, but he's sort of very clearly, you know, basically a decent guy who's just been a bit carried away by like government propaganda.
Well, I have a question for the game mechanic part actually. If you build up a big nice line of people and you forget to check both ends of the line, and so you're moving back, you know, left and right, do people just sort of sneak in?
No, they walk away.
Just get pissed off.
Yay, Shannon!
Shannon, get the heck out of here!
She looks a bit like a petite Alistair Beckett King.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh man.
I mean, it's the hair.
I think my favourite for the Shannon visits is when she tries using reverse psychology and doesn't quite do it very well. It's like, you know, she walks around like, you don't want to let me in. And then at the end, then she said that sort of you can come in while sending her away. So I am really grateful for this.
Are there like a fixed number of NPCs, like with different personalities, or are there some?
Yeah, there's about 7. Most characters are just generic, but there's like some characters kind of keep on reappearing during the story, and depending on how you handle them, like the ending changes. It determines like whether you get a good ending. But the basic sort of sorry. No,
I was just wondering if there's like a procedural generation thing, like there are some character traits, and then the game just spits out a character, like.
Nah, they're all scripted. So Shannon's basically the Yorgi, you know, the one who's always kind of trying to get through with fake IDs and you know whatever. There's Harrison Pace, who's a former celebrity who pulls basically Lassie around a stuffed Lassie around on a trolley. There's Tarquin Futtock Smythe, the son of one of the ministers of Albion First, and there's a couple of others. But
yes, you are. In you come.
But Shannon's the funniest because you know she was just sort of straight up. You know, you can't come in.
You can't be on the list.
It's like coming up with as many ways as possible to have somebody, you know, be rejectable, while still being funny enough that you kind of want to.
Actually, Resulka.
Yes.
if you would stop dying for a second.
Yes.
Is there a way for you to sort of reinitialize the chat URL on the stream layout?
Not at the right moment since I'm in the middle of the game, but give me a moment, and when I'm finished this round, which is almost done, in the next 20 seconds.
I mean, we've done so much to prepare for this, and it never occurred to me to check if that thing was actually working. It's been working ever, you know, all this time I've been using it, and just decided to being a fuckwit today.
Yeah.
By the way,
just stream out to these people going like, I've finished the list. You can't be in the guest list.
Go away. We're having a party.
That's advanced bouncer tactics.
Yeah.
Can I just give a shout out to the people who actually made this whole marathon thing happen? Summer did, Summer B76, who's also on the stream list later, did a massive job of, well, coming up with the idea first and foremost, and then organizing the whole thing, and then, you know, typing up, you know, meticulous how-to documents on, you know, setting up OBS and how to get into the multi-chat thing we've got going on Discord where we're doing this co-commentary, all that jazz. Just really a massive job. All I did was just go, that sounds like a great idea, and off we are. So big golf clap to Summer.
Okay, and that is the chat reset in the
cool
profile.
The chat ready to display messages.
Woo! The best message of all time.
God, I hope it works.
Of course, the true message of the season is love.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry to get hung up on the chat. If it doesn't work now, I'll just shut up and hope it somehow magically fixes itself. Thanks, Restream.
Oh dear. I'm sorry, Lucy, that you hate that picture, but at the same time, I hate my face right now. So.
I love your face. You do. Yeah. I also love Sexy Cedric.
Yeah.
He haunts my dreams, in a good way. I mean, look at those.
I cut it off tastefully.
It was quite tasteful to begin with. There was no nip, as far as I.
There is actually a nip if you look in the full version. It's outlaid in the mud. You can see it.
Oh, only just though. I mean, Larry doesn't really kind of go in for that outside of.
I mean, it is.
Oh,
well, it's covered with mud. So.
Okay, I just wanted to because I love this guy's dialogue. I think on this one. So when he sort of says exactly what he is.
That's great. Don't mind me. I'm just remembering.
RuPaul Service 112.
Plaster and sellotape. It's time.
Well, time, of course.
Trip
to the hospital.
tax.
Compassion tax is my favourite line.
Unless it's sitting down. I'm not even looking at you. It's fine.
How does he? Oh, you got the door open.
Yeah, he's staring at my butt.
Also, I love the Charlotte Gore school of character idol animation going on.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. I'm a doctor. You're a Euro. I'm about to stay here.
I seem stressed for some reason.
Yeah, because she just said my life is a nightmare. Ah, yes. I will add the choice. Ah, never fucking mind.
Yeah.
This is my favourite line. You're a trained medical professional. Ah, I see the confusion.
I'm just a traffic
warden.
Real doctors are reserved for natives.
That's the line. It's like I totally forgot writing that.
It kind of reminds me. There's some Beneath the Steel Sky about that. There's just one dude with a clipboard, and he thinks the clipboard just makes him a professional.
Sounds about right.
Just my little joke. Just my little joke, but seriously, pay up.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Genevieve has messaged me. It is I, Genevieve.
Genevieve.
Your bathroom.
Why does she talk like that?
Guinevere. That makes more sense if you kind of know who Guinevere is in context. The clean the bathroom thing, I mean.
It is I. I just love everyone who initiates a conversation with, it is I have arrived.
Well, it's one of the reasons I kind of love writing characters. I think here she is.
Oh,
yes, here we go. On the right.
Yeah, she's coming out of my bathroom.
Yes, Guinevere is basically the face of the resistance.
And I am Agent Titmouse now.
Yes, all the good birds were taken.
Why don't I become a flaming galar instead?
I mean, I thought maybe that was something you could input, because that sounds like something Resulka would input as a character name.
Hey!
You sort of hear there's like characters like, you know, Agent Nightingale and Agent Blackbird. By the time they come to you, it's just Agent Titmouse.
Could be worse.
Well, the irony is that spoiler, later on in the game you find the resistance is based like 4 people. Yeah. So it's really more they just didn't have any imagination.
I also love that the resistance apparently comes out of your loo, or just usually.
Oh, there was a gag. I think it got cut at the end, but her first appearance was before you actually joined the resistance, and it's like, oh, sorry, wrong toilet, and then just disappears again. And it's deliberately never explained why they have all these secret passages. I just think it's always funnier not to even mention it.
I mean, you could look into it as sort of a metaphor, as in the resistance is constantly underground and constantly appearing wherever you don't expect them to, and you could also go the alternate route with, oh, those shitbirds, they always come out of the... they're like rats in the sewer, and there's a lot of interpretation.
I mean, the gag was very much the idea of Michelle from the Resistance from a lower low, kind of always appearing in the back room. Oh god, it's kind of hard to write bar jokes when you don't drink, especially know anything about alcohol. Like,
you could have asked a professional.
It's got a cockroach. It's got a cockroach in it.
Hello, Gemini.
Oh, hello, Gemini.
Hello.
Or konnichiwa. Or
Hail.
Good morning. Isn't it late for you?
Yeah, there was so much talk about Sexy Cedric. I've swapped to Officer Cedric.
Yeah, it's 5:30 in the morning for me here.
See, whether or not you use Sexy Cedric or Officer Cedric, he's still a complete tit.
Oh yeah, pretty much. He's the real Officer Titmouse.
Yes! Yes! Oh, behold, Officer Titmouse. Actually don't. 5:30 in the morning. Very fucking gross.
Just get back from having breakfast.
Titmouse isn't a real place, but you can go to, I think it's
no, I think they're talking about Western Bloody Superbear.
And visit the lower pleasure gardens.
Ooh, Sexy Officer Cedric. That does exist, but it looks terrible, so I nixed it. Damn it, they were wearing...
Isn't that just Jim Walls with a Cedric codpiece?
No, it was, what's it called, from the remake of, what's it called, our good friend, Leisure Suit Larry. I got the sexy cop from that and put Cedric's head on it. Did not work quite so well. For some reason.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Can I say, by the way, that the new Leisure Suit Larry is a lot better than I was expecting.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get to the theme song at the end, and it's just, what?
Oh, I still haven't gotten that far. I actually need to buy a copy of the game.
It ends on a song, and it's a real what the hell am I listening to, son?
Oh, what joy!
Does it just undermine everything that went on in the game?
That's what
no, it doesn't. It's actually really weird. It's basically a lady sort of seeing Larry in a club, and sort of semi-falling for him, and then Larry gets married, has kids. The whole reprise is that Larry is happy with his life. It's very weird. It's very odd.
And we now spoiled it for everyone.
Yeah, spoiled it.
Well, no, that's not how the story ends. That's just the song. Yeah, it has nothing to do with anything in the game. It's just this one kind of going, Larry has a crush on me, and all that kind of stuff. And then what's it? He's trying to check out the possibilities each and every single day. Larry wants it right away, and it's just what am I listening to?
What? I think they might have just a song.
It's being sung by a German lady trying to kind of sing in English. And so it's all with this very heavy accent.
God, I
it's
need
very
to get
strange.
this game and stream it.
Yeah. That sounds. That
After
just sounds like someone was told to write a song and didn't know what the hell they were doing and just went ahead and did one anyway.
Well, the irony is it's actually kind of fitting that it includes the bit about Larry basically having happy relationships and kind of getting booted out. It's like whoever wrote it knows the series. It's just weird.
Kind of like, and I don't mean this in a bad way because I still want to remain friends with him, but kind of like James Mulvale's What the Ballad of Roger Wilco at the end of the Space Quest 2. Which is also, I mean, interesting that you did that. Weird. Actually, was it Isaac Might have been Isaac
I
instead
think
of
it was Isaac.
Malville. Yeah, it was Isaac. Yeah, it was Isaac.
It's no ballad of Freddie Farkas.
It's
Nothing ever is.
I mean, it's a good tune, but I don't want to hear a song about Roger Wilco. And if it is a song, it has to be at least 180 BPM. That's a little musician joke for you people.
I do love some of the weird songs you do get at the end of adventure games. I mean, obviously, the Kiss from Mystery of the Druids. That whole
everything from Mystery of the Druids is weird.
You don't look like a burglar to me from Legacy and
Rage from Phantasmagoria 2.
And at least Rage kind of fits.
No, it's not a good.
Now you'll see all the anger in me. A curse will be upon my name. I mean, it's at least better than Take a Stand.
Oh god, yeah. I gotta
it's
take
a lot better than Take a
Stand.
But Rage just sounds like Michael Bolton trying to sing Nine Inch Nails. It doesn't work.
Mystery Druids song, yes, it does. It's called The Kiss, and it's particularly funny because it plays just after you have stabbed the love interest with a pair of rusty scissors. I am not kidding about that.
Why is that funny?
The first time I heard Take a Stand...
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, the first time I heard Take a Stand, I was playing with her crabbiness, and I just started laughing.
Oh, Zane was here.
Oh, tell Gemini that. Don't tell me that.
Oh dear, what did he do? What did Zane do?
Oh, he just says,
he just said hi.
Just tell Gemini I was here.
Tell him that I love him, and I'm carrying his child.
Also that.
Yes. I should probably explain what's going on the screen because there is a game. Basically, the gimmick of this section is Jux will tells you that if you do 3 jumps with him, he'll basically kind of guarantee that you'll get to stay. But as you can see, the last person he told that to, he just ripped up his visa. He's not that trustworthy.
See, I took that as they're just telling you that this is how you get to stay. Because...
No, that's saying that Jupp is full of shit.
No,
he will not help you stay.
The number he has is the exact same number.
Typo, I think. But the idea is that he's lying. Yeah, he's just going to rip you up.
Oh, really?
Zane didn't start spamming the stream with different follower names, did he?
It's the same visa. It's the same visa. That's not you. It's just like he just gives this to everybody.
Oh,
and then it's like, this is actually yours.
Great.
Yeah. It's like this isn't you. This is just
This is Richard being subtle in his writing.
Too subtle. I got the wrong thing. Okay.
I have 2 things. One, a game that ends on a good song. Nelly Kudelot, The Foul Fleet. That actually ends on a very good song.
Longest Journey. Not Longest Journey. What's the other one? Dreamfall Chapters. Not Dreamfall Chapters. Well, the Dreamfall Chapters technically falls on the same. Yeah, Dreamfall. Because Rush. Rush is a beautiful song.
Chapters did have Rush as well.
Yes, that's true, but it was the remix. Was it?
Well, yeah.
I never.
It was a remix.
Yeah, there's the weird remix that you hear during your runs.
But Rush plays when you're walking back home. It's not over like the end credits or something.
No, but that's still ending it.
Yeah, but there's still a bit more to go until you find out the Dreamfall has no ending.
True.
Oh right, it ends on a cliffhanger, doesn't it?
Well, it sort of ends on like a big expanse and not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, guess what? This was not really a game as much as this is starting something new. By the way, we're going to be gone for several years. Enjoy.
Well, it's just like the old line: all good things come to an end except for Dreamfall.
Dreamfall was not that good, actually. I remember finding a trainer for it that would give me like infinite lives or infinite health or something, because there was some section of that game I just could not get past.
There's problems.
More terrible drinks. Pineapple, lemon. We're out for lemon. Still a squirt of watching up liquid.
Just give me pineapple juice. I can live on it.
No, Dreamfall. I like Dreamfall, but it's got some individual bits of it, which means I would never want to play it again. The biggest one being when you've got to avoid the monster, kind of in the underground bit.
That is the absolute worst part of that game.
It's like, no, not doing that again. Although I was quite amused when you played Dreamfall Chapters, and the first stealth mission, if you fail, you get an achievement which is I thought there was no stealth in this game with the description there is and you suck at it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
get fucked, Ragnar. Get absolutely fucked, Ragnar.
Oh,
Jesus,
come
that
on,
is just
that was
snark.
a fine shirt. There's nothing wrong with that shirt.
I love the little walkie-talkie. Fuck you.
Yeah, if only I could press the button to say "fuck you."
That's the downside of needing the job.
I mean, I do like I can press the button, but
These are surprisingly well-behaved patrons.
yeah.
Well, we should have like a beat up section where people sort of start throwing down. You kind of go like sort of urban champion, trying to kind of fight them back into a manhole cover or something.
I just really wanted a sight gag in the background, like there's the car from the bonus stage in Street Fighter 2, and there's a dude in bandana just beating it to shit.
Another guy running on, my car!
No, he's underaged. Come back! Come back!
You need to check more carefully.
I just think the problem with all of these games, and I sort of say this obviously being sort of involved in this one, is that if the guy on the radio is so good at this, why aren't they the bloody bouncer?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. and he like spots them immediately, just like that was wrong. You suck. Maybe this is just a test. It's just a citizenship test. Like, are you? Yeah. Halfway. Keep it going.
When you're doing the border wall ones, because then they're obviously going to someone and then going, this person shit at their job.
But I do think one of the big things about this game is that it's quite funny to see people's reactions to some of the details. You know, like they say, like, I have plenty of money, but you know, I'm still living in a shitty apartment. It's like kind of, yes, that's because the amount of money you've got has no bearing on where you get to live.
Yeah.
It's sort of a lot of like the indignities of, you know, being oppressed in an admittedly like light-hearted way.
Combo number 8 needs a massage.
Oh, I see someone who. What? No, she wasn't wearing a banned piece of clothing. Wait, you can. That's a skirt. Why would that not be a.
The game is cheating.
Sir.
If you're not going to give it 110%,
You are not wearing a shirt, sir.
You can't wear that.
Hey.
Well, he technically can wear a shirt. He's just not wearing one. So how does that work grammatically? Like you come up to someone with no clothes on, and the person says you can't wear that. Well, what?
Hi there,
well,
Summer.
technically say that. You can technically say I'm not going to wear this because then.
Yeah, you can't come in here wearing those. I think the more serious thing is you can't come in here without wearing something on that.
Yeah.
Something I want to do for the game I'm working on at the moment, Nighthawks, is to give the player the option just to walk around naked and have the character respond to it. Because that always amuses me in games. In RPGs where you can just undress the main character and sort of see what happens. It always bothers me when nothing happens. It's like, no, this should be funny.
Lady, not on the list.
Some flashbacks to the nude code in Mask of Eternity. Just oh. God.
Oh, that was the highlight of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Admittedly, not a long list, but.
Hump the bridge.
Just never forget endless bridge humping. Hi, Summer.
Hi.
I mean, there was that game long ago called Lost City of Atlantis, where the gimmick is the main character is a guy called Ragul, I think, something like that. And he's starting naked for the entire game despite being surrounded by cloth. And it's like, after a while, it's just like, kind of clearly, you know, he could get dressed anytime he wants to. He just chooses not to.
Oh, I have messages. Oh, I'm the Tiki Head nightclub manager. Well, not manager. Head doorman.
Bonesy and Jonesy.
Jonesy's gonna break up with me.
You know, working for Jonesy.
They're the same bloody person.
So how many jobs can you have in this game?
Oh,
Can you
many.
just, like, pick one?
Well, I think it's like, you're always a bouncer. But I think there's like sort of 10, 12 or so different club pubs and things. Of course, they're all kind of run by different varieties of crazy person.
Oh yeah, they're all crazy.
Whereas I think my favourite one is the guy who works in the church. Oh, yeah, this is kind of a bit of like a play to the fact that Mylana's accent is fake.
Yeah.
So one of the questions we kind of got is where's she from, and it's like Basingstoke or somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, do I have something to give you?
Well, I don't think so.
No, so I don't know why she
like
just... Oh, that's because I haven't got anything yet.
Yeah.
I like that your
It just
inventory
hangs
is just an Ababa's bag, like a duffel bag.
Yeah.
It just sort of rolls out.
Oh. So
I like game UIs that have some sort of real-world semblance. Although
Yeah,
you can't take it too far. You can go the normality route with the fucking voodoo doll.
Oh god,
that
that's
takes up
terrifying. I had to stop playing the game the first time I saw it. I was just like, I need to walk away! That's
I mean,
terrifying!
in fairness, most normality is like a challenge for you to keep playing it.
Yeah.
You know, it is such an ugly game. Such an ugly game.
Okay.
But it does, thematically, it does have some things in common with the game we're playing right now. Of course, we have to, I mean, it's, you know, courteously say that this game does better.
I mean, there's mind I don't think there's any mind control devices in the sofa, but...
I mean, that normality was such a British game. It was like...
Oh god, yes.
It was so surreal and so anti-authoritarian and so silly.
Well, I remember that one of the interesting things about normality is that there's a different main character voiceover depending whether you got the UK or the US version.
Yeah, not only that, they recast the
also,
entire voice cast.
Twitch has died apparently.
Oh.
Yes, it has. I'm actually watching the Twitch streamer.
It's streaming. Oh, it has dropped a whole heap of frames.
Oh dear, the Twitch machine got unplugged. Try again in a moment. Oh dear.
Woo!
I just refreshed and it's back up.
Woo, woo.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm refreshing it
I've
as
still
well.
got greens.
And
I still got
boom,
greens.
yeah. Yeah. You know, OBS will of course try to reconnect whenever, but if it drops, just reload, see what happens. They all died. That is a weird thing to type in the chat.
That's our good friend, her crabbiness. She's
they
the
all
reason why I'm a Let's Player now.
Because of her fantastic bubbly personality, I see.
Yeah.
Horse.
Horror.
Well, what's it called? She was doing a
I heard that. Hello.
Gorgeous.
I subscribed to her on the Euro of Tubes.
That's good.
Mm.
Wait, do I have any?
Yeah, I saw one of the old ones.
I believe I was pressured into it.
No jobs have been banned.
I think I got into King's Quest because of her Let's Play of King's Quest 6.
You are underage, go away.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I
my
watched
Let's
a lot
Play
of
of King's
her
Quest
LPs.
6 turned people off from actually playing it.
Well, I mean, you did only show them like 5 minutes of it, so...
I still haven't played it on my channel. I'm gonna get to that eventually.
I mean, the trouble with talking about King's Quest 6, there's really nothing to say. I was amused the other day because I was trying to find some footage of Rise of the Dragon, The Heart of China, and a few other games. And the fact that nobody can endure the entire Heart of China. There's like one LP of it which is finished, it's in German. And then there's sort of several others where there's like part 1, and then there was never part 2. It's like you're like, I'll see you in next time for part 2. 5 years pass and nothing happens.
I've actually never played Heart of China. I'd like to play it.
It's very racist. It's very racist and not very good, but it is kind of interesting.
Interestingly, Joe from the Upper Memory blog recently did an episode on Heart of China, so we can at least assume he played all the way through it. Actually, that's the thing. He's one of the ones who didn't. He's got 2 parts of it, and then he never actually posted like the final part. Well, he finished it. He made an episode.
Oh, I know, but it was like the LP stuff.
Oh well, he never finishes his LPs. He doesn't quite. He considers it research, like online research.
Yeah, I saw the video. But what about it is like several people have kind of done part 1, and then never come back. And he did like part 1 and 2, and then just sort of dropped it. It's sort of like, you know, I haven't seen a game, you know, this anti-LP since Codename Iceman.
I mean, like, what? No, I mean, like, what's it called? Even Retsuprey didn't finish it, and they weren't even playing it; they were just watching it.
Did they even start it?
Yeah.
I don't remember them doing how to show it.
I remember. No, it might have been on Slow Beef's channel, but I remember seeing part 1 and then never saw it again.
Okay, so they did quite a fun one of Rise of the Dragon.
No, you know what it is? Oh yeah, they definitely finished that one. I love that one.
Well, the thing except they played on Sega CD, so everything's green. The trouble is that the Rise of the Dragon is a really pretty game on PC, and then kind of you sort of take all the colours out and you put Cam Clark in it, and it's like nowhere near as fun.
Wait, what was the dude's name in
this person's disconnected from their legs.
Cam Clark.
Their shirt is moving ahead of their legs. Woo!
The guy in Normality. Casey.
Oh, no, it was some famous guy.
Yeah, some 80s famous.
Corey Feldman.
It was Corey
Feldman.
Was it Corey Feldman? Okay.
Yeah, it's Corey Feldman. It's not Corey Haim. Corey Haim, I think, was away from our planet by that point.
But when I played it, I played the British one, the British one. Yes.
Yeah,
and I actually got comments from people who are going, wait, those are not the real voices, and I remember this game, but it had better voices. No.
Yeah.
It did not.
There is no such thing as better voices.
I mean, imagine if they recast the entirety of Beneath the Steel Sky with Australian voices.
Well, I mean, the original version did happen. So.
There's one Australian dude in a game that takes place entirely in Australia. Bad example. Imagine if they recast Mystery of the Druids with Scottish accents.
Honestly, you could recast Mystery of the Druids with, you know, just Paulie Shaw and Paul Rubens and Gilbert Gottfried, and I'm not sure it would make the script much worse.
No, but it would probably make it better if people weren't calling it pizza.
Pizza is funny.
Oh yeah, the pizzeria.
I still want to see more people LP conspiracies because the main character is just so amazing. He's like Inspector Jenks sort of times 20.
I love how every time we have Richard on anything, backseat designers, streams, co-commentaries, anything, it always comes back to Mystery of the Druids.
A lot of people keep bringing it up. I mean, I can't help being one of the few people in the world to actually finish that stupid game.
I had it for the longest time, never got anywhere in it.
Fun fact, a good friend of mine actually really loves that game. And I think Richard can guess who. Someone who does not have very good taste.
I could have a good guess. I think. No, Mystery of the Druids is just one of those games I kind of come back to a lot, just because the main character is a psychopath, even by adventure game standards.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my go-to examples for kind of weird acts. The other big one is Diamonds in the Rough, which is a game where at one point you steal a bottle of wine from a friendly bartender by literally going into his supplies cabinets and mixing up chlorine gas from cleaning supplies. And I'm just going to suggest that maybe when you get to a point where you're making your own chlorine gas, you're the baddie.
Definitely. The one that you covered at one point that I really love that you haven't actually done a video on it, but you did a really old stream on it, is Synergist. I played through all of that, but I've been trying to find the other parts and I cannot find them. The only one part that I can possibly find, it just keeps crashing every time I go and do it.
Synergist, the quest to find out what the hell the word synergist means.
I love how, like, you know, you called it early on, it's like, his name is Tim Matchin.
Time machine!
Time machine!
It's when the villain comes in and it's literally Satan.
Yeah.
That you kind of, you sort of know sort of what's going on.
I'm a philanthropist. Okay, so you're Satan. Good. Yeah.
By the way, this might be a good time to mention that the only people who've donated so far are people who are actively part of the stream marathon. So we're hoping some names will pop up on that little ticker at the bottom that that we don't recognize, or maybe that we recognize but aren't actually streaming later. Please go to streamlabs.com/SpaceQuestHistorian and throw money at it. As you can see, it works.
You too could be.
Yes, we tested it enough. Now put your money in it.
Please give us your cash, your cold hard cash. By the way, I need to scan this person. He has cash in his pocket.
Oh my God! There's something in his crotch.
Good. Tell him to give it to Girls Make Games.
Coming in.
Please do not give what you have in your crotch to Girls Make Games. They're a nice organization, and they do not deserve.
When did crotches come up?
I brought it up.
Well, crotches come up whenever everything sexy happens. Sure.
Pretty much.
I was referring to the pockets. What were you talking about?
I was talking about crotches.
Sexy pockets.
Oh.
This seems like a bad place to have a nightclub.
Well, so in the first
yeah, it's fine until it burns down in part 1.
Yeah, and they blame it on beautiful Viclav, the Disco King.
And the French.
And the
but
French,
they keep it open. Surely the electrics.
Excuse me, you're underage. Go away.
Piss off, Susie.
This can't be
possible.
Dave.
It is Dave himself. Yeah.
It's Dave trying to get into his own club.
Yeah, that was a difficult thing to script.
Yeah. Dave had.
Why would people?
Oh, that's true. Yamako Panda donated because I saw his name in the actual page, but it's not in the ticker.
Oh. No, I see that. I actually see that in the. Yes.
Too young, go home. No, I'm not gonna fall for your 50 bloody pounds.
Let me just check Yamako Panda.
Yamako Panda sounds delicious right now.
Oh.
Would you eat a panda?
Well, I wouldn't. You know, if one naturally died in front of me.
Well, like roadkill.
Just walked up to you.
What's it called? Like, you know, like the...
Driving through the zoo, hit a panda.
Well, you know, the kangaroo that...
there it is.
That you can buy to eat, that's culled because there's a...
It's showing up now.
Yeah, there's a really...
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, a really large amount of kangaroos out there, so they...
I've never eaten kangaroo, but I like to think it could be its own turducken.
Oh, turducken, that is such a weird concept.
Yeah.
Turkey, duck, and chicken in all-in-one, in case anyone's wondering. It's like the haggis of America.
I mean, to be fair, I did have chicken and ham in a challah roll today, and that is, you know, so not kosher. So not kosher, but delicious.
Oh god, the BSD guys are really getting into this whole,
you are the BSD
whole Activision
guys.
thing. Oh, I'm 1/3 of it. So I'm gonna have to mute you guys. Sorry. We have had this Facebook chat thing going forever, for years and years and years in the Backseat Designers, just the 3 of us, and it is just an absolute mess at this point.
Good boy.
That doesn't sound like the 3 of you.
Oh, not.
Did you get drunk again?
Oh, there are instances in this chat where the 3 of us are just absolutely shit-faced and weird things are happening, weird pictures are being shared. It is highly incriminating Facebook chat.
Excellent. Add me to it. I'll take care of it.
I mean, is it incriminating when you say exactly the same things as a publicly available podcast?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll answer for Mr. Spearman.
That made him stop, I think.
Yeah, no, things happen in this chat that I should not and will not
ever admit to.
Repeat.
In a
Well, you know the modern thing, whatever happens on Facebook stays on Facebook. And when all of its third-party advertising systems and partners and the government...
The government!
Russia, of course, gets a copy.
I will I will lift the veil for one thing that I believe I can share. The latest picture to be shared in that Facebook chat is a picture of Mr. Corbin. I mean, it is quite in relation to the game we're playing. It is a picture of Corbin with the caption "Soup Song."
Ah. I see. The
and
soup
he does
is on
have.
again.
Yes.
Why do we
Soup
never
Song.
talk about the ribs? I love the sticky ribs.
Because stuff in a wig. I mean, it's.
I still can't believe you played it. I still can't believe you played the entire the 11th hour and you didn't show the ribs ending.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Well, okay, I'm gonna have
or point out how the house has absolutely no bearing on anything else you've seen in the game.
Yeah.
I think we pointed that part out.
Yeah, but you got the one on the mountain from the first game. You got the regular house in the main game. But then you also have the ending where it's just in the middle of a huge empty plain. Because like render it town, screw that.
And it's on fire, no less. Yeah, that part is weird. I will tell you why we didn't show the other two endings. It is because
couldn't be asked.
No, I did capture the entire game off my original CD-ROMs. That part is true. I did not feel like playing through the entire game though, because fuck that. I downloaded an open house save game from the internet, and the person who finished the game and created that open house save game picked that ending, and you can't go back and re-pick a different ending without playing through that last puzzle.
If only there was a site full of videos of obscure games where people had recorded the ending.
Well, we did find the Marie ending, I don't know, weeks and weeks later.
Well, of course you found it. After all, it's you.
It's you! Delicious.
But I legitimately thought, and I still think, that my capture of the 11th hour movie is the most pristine you will find on YouTube. And that is not a badge I wear with honor.
Or pride?
Or pride, or the fact that I spent 2 of my free time nights sitting down and closed captioning the entire fucking thing.
And then coming up with wonderful jokes about sexy houses.
That was so hard.
Yeah, it could be worse. You could have spent all the time that Richard did having to censor all the
oh god,
all the slips in Blue Heat.
I got most of them.
Check out
yeah,
Blue Heat.
Yeah, you missed out one, so I've got it covered up at the moment with like a just black censor boxes over each other. Not censor boxes, annotation ones. Someone can see a nip slip if they turn off annotations.
Oh, that's YouTube is actually going to remove all annotations from all videos in the future.
Next month or so.
They are fucking asking for this one.
And now nobody can play the online version of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties anymore.
What is wrong with that game and why does it exist?
Is that banned?
It's quite a thing.
That was the Wild West of FMV CD-ROM games.
Well, technically, the Town with No Name was the Wild West of shitty FMV CD-ROMs. But...
Yeah, and Mad Dog McCree.
Wasn't there the Wide West as well? I started playing.
West.
Yeah, it's 10 items of clothing. God damn it! You're underage. Get out of here. The wild.
Still not checking.
Well, the clothing's hard to pick. Some of these, like this, I think is a quite respectable skirt.
But it isn't.
It isn't. Apparently, some sort of shorts that they have troubles with.
Well, you don't make the rules. You just enforce them with a weary sense of defeat and pointlessness.
Fair.
But yeah, the Wild West, the other thing I really remember about it was going up to the first person and it's like, can I ask you a question? Yeah, sure, but I ain't got time, so go fast! It was just like, okay, I'm gonna play this later. When I've got time for insanity? Yeah.
Oh, you get bribes too.
Yeah. You
Oh
get
yeah,
bribes and Facebook's trying to tell me messages right now. Excuse me, you're underage. Go away. You are on the list. Go away.
That has nothing to do with your Facebook messages, does it?
No. No, my mother's probably sent me a picture of a cat. Or she might be saying Gabriel wants to go to bed now, and I'll be like, well, you know how long I was going to be doing this for. She sometimes tells me that my cat wants to go to sleep.
Oh, and fuck, Sean Mills has gotten into the game on Twitter as well. I'm gonna put my phone away now.
You're underage, go home.
If I take away anything from this stream, it is Resulka's deadpan voice going, "You're underage, go home."
You're not wearing a shirt, go home. Sir, you're not wearing pants!
Isn't he? Does he have purple legs?
See, that's the thing.
Are those
are the sort of things that I get caught on. But if you notice when he walks by, you can see his junk. I mean, you know, covered junk.
Why would he go to a club with his junk hanging up? And why does he have purple legs?
Depends on what kind of club he's going to.
Let's see what's this.
Apparently it's the Tiki Head, where you don't go to get Tiki Head.
It's kitty cats dressed up for Christmas.
Tiki head, do the tiki head.
I've only been to
I think he was assuming he was going to get some Tiki Head, that's why he didn't put on pants. Still not funny.
You suck.
Oh god, Tiki Head night.
I didn't pass.
There was a pace slip.
Hooray!
You did?
That's the first night I've actually failed.
But it's
quite spectacularly.
Oh, Shannon's back again.
Oh, Shannon. Oh, Shannon.
For a second, I thought in the bathroom, in the mirror above the sink, I thought that was a giant huntsman spider.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with a huntsman. They don't hurt you.
No, they don't, but they're fucking massive!
They are.
Yeah,
You're damn right they don't hurt you. We're running away too fast.
To quote the great George Stober, there are only 3 things I don't like about spiders: the way they look, the way they move, and the fact they live on the same planet as me.
I woke up one night and there was one standing on my lamp in the way that basically it was throwing this gigantic spider-shaped shadow across my wall, and I went, ah! And I went, huntsman spider, fine, it's fine.
And then you went, oh wait, I'm Australian, these things don't scare me, and went back to sleep.
Yeah. Actually, I just turned off the light. Things can't hurt you in the dark if you don't know about them.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you do know about them.
Do they make noises? Can they actually go, hi, how you doing?
No.
like wave their little legs and just go, hello.
Hello, governor.
Hello, governor.
Hunt, I'm a huntsman.
I'd like to make a motion that trolls talk to the rest of the marathon stream in Australian.
That's not really Australian, is it?
No, that's sort of Dick Van Dyke trying to do a Londoner who's doing an Australian accent.
So you're French, off you go.
It's actually me doing Gareth Millward. Gareth will inevitably, and whenever you say hi to him, he just goes, hello.
Hello, sir. Can I have some?
Oh, it's Galahad with his Team Rocket jacket.
Yeah, which is the reason why I said get out of here, kid.
Macy gets in.
Did you just punch that kid?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I punched him and I said get out of here, kid.
Now I
he went to the back of the
play
line.
this game.
Okay. Oh shoot! Don't even look at that. Okay, you can come in, sir. Hi, Dave. Oh, Dave, I got something for you. I got your ring. I got it out of a toilet.
Let them do a spiel first.
I got it. It's right here.
Yeah, you see? There we go.
You've been waving the ring in his face for 5 minutes. Any sign of my ring? Yes, right here.
Yeah, but do you have a ring?
Oh God! Can we just go back to the fact that you're constantly referred to as number 112?
Yeah.
Yep.
No name. Is that because you're a European citizen, or? That's
exactly it. It's another way of dehumanizing the main character. Originally, you didn't actually have any dialogue at all because the idea of sort of silences powerlessness. But then, you know, we kind of put like dialogue into it's funnier.
Yeah.
I mean, and also because I've been playing the Secret World at the time, and I was getting really bored of monologues, so it was like, no, we have to have some dialogue. But you know, yeah, all of the characters referred to as 112 if they like you.
112 if they like you, 112 if they dislike you.
Exactly. 112 is your full name.
Yeah, the Secret World's great. Although
I do love the Secret. I love the Secret World. It just after a while the monologuing really, you know, gets old. It's like, you know.
I found it hard to like, you know, like when they relaunched the game. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get through it this time. And I got like, you know, to the end of the first area, and I went, ah. So it took me so long to get to the end of Transylvania.
I mean,
was broken.
I mean, that is almost the end. I mean, Tokyo's really short.
Yeah.
Hey, we got it. We got a donation from a person who isn't us. Panda. We've got Lawasoft who donated, and Summer has tallied up the total donations so far. 105 buckazoids. Holy crap!
Awesome.
0.87.
Yeah, since the Sun God is much faster than it used to be, because now basically there's teleporters everywhere, it's kind of sort of speeds you through it, where it used to take forever.
Well, like
and then South Africa's quite fun.
Yeah,
was that dude's name Robert Heinlein?
Yeah, possibly. There is a Rick Cobbett somewhere in here. He gets around.
Is there?
Well, I think there's all the developers. The actual part, where like the sort of secret semi-ending, if you kind of get a perfect game, is the credits is all of the developers basically kind of queuing up to go in, and then you kind of sort of choose whether or not to let them in or not.
Yeah, I didn't let you in.
Nah.
Why not?
Your pun sucks. Go home.
Go and finish Nighthawks.
Hey, Nighthawks didn't exist yet.
Where's the punch person in face button?
You don't have one of those, sadly. You got to be a nice bouncer.
Where is she hiding? This.
I don't believe you.
Ah!
Closing time. Oh god, that fucking song. Oh god. Oh, I'm so glad you didn't license that song.
I'm not sure we could have afforded it.
Is it still that popular? It's like a one-hit wonder, wasn't it? It was like.
I mean, Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, it's like mid-90s. No one even remembers it.
I listened to it once or twice when it first came out, I think.
I'm mostly associated with City Heroes because on like the last night, the radio channel was like playing a whole load of sort of sad, like sort of contemplative music for like the last day of the world. So it was that, it was sort of some Xandria and, you know, similar things like that. And so in my head, closing time is now not about a pub, it's not about the birth of a child, it's about the end of City of Heroes.
Which works. I mean,
Semi-solid, that's right, yeah.
I have a bunch of weird song associations with games.
Yeah, I think Iris was the other one they were playing. That's kind of sort of tangled up in my head.
Dave said he
I'm very bad with music.
For me. Where is this doormat? Here it is. I have to pay for it? Dave!
Oh yeah, of course. He unlocked it, he didn't buy it for you.
God save our gracious doormat.
Which is you.
Oh my god.
I'm not buying that, Dave.
250 bucks. Fuck off.
Pounds, please.
Pounds, sorry.
Not when I can buy a,
Not this money of the traitor colonies.
Not when I can buy a better fridge.
250 yen, holy shit.
So in the interest of you know, game longevity and such, do you think this game will still be funny in 5 years?
I hope so. I mean, I think the Brexit thing is obviously, you know, right here and now, but the basic kind of stuff like sort of xenophobia and, you know, the far right is sadly not going anywhere at the moment. And hopefully we can all appreciate like the amusement of a doctor who's really a traffic warden in a coat.
Yes, I certainly do appreciate that. Well, I'm just because thinking of I'm trying to think of, you know, like 90s television shows about government conspiracies, like, oh, the government is listening to us, and then, you know, the whole Snowden thing happens and go, that's not funny anymore. Like, X-Files, oh, that's so cute. It's oh god, it's some of it's actually real.
Well, like I said at the start of the stream, one of the problems with this game is that a lot of the time I would write a joke and then somebody would actually do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so, you know, like we had the thing with cages, we had quite a few things about, like, there's like a running gag in this one. The NHS is basically being sold to a US soft drinks manufacturer, and we're really not that far off it. And, you know, just in general, it's kind of it's hard to be funny satirical at the moment, because the stuff which people are actually doing is both so beyond the pale and so horrible that, you know, you can't really satirize it. But luckily, but for those situations, but for those situations, you have a bouncer with poop on their head, and I think we could all agree that will always be funny.
Oh yeah.
That deserves a golf clap. Yes.
And she's getting ID from a woman wearing cheese on her head. Oh, lady.
Oh yeah. Oh,
No.
Oh, why?
Can't bring that shank here.
Oh, it was a shank. Okay, I thought she was bringing a syringe. Hey, free drugs are on me. Just go up and stab someone in the neck. I did. This is like that is like, you know, the perfume girl at Macy's, the one that goes around and spritzes people who are just walking by. Just imagine that, but in a bar, and it's a dude with a syringe and a cheese on her head.
The first one's always free and mandatory.
And snaps off in your neck. Sorry, that wasn't meant to happen.
Oh, Galahad. Galahad, you're not coming in.
I must maintain my color.
In my heart, which burns for the freedom of our poor country.
Why are you having this conversation like out loud in front of people?
He's a bit crap as a spy.
It does look like you're punching people in the face.
Well, I'm basically just going, get out of here.
Yeah, shove them.
Suppose it's better than shoving that book in their crotch.
Missed. Oh, how we don't miss you. Oh yeah, you did a comprehensive series playthrough of Myst, and then you did a review, like a series recap of the entire series. You're done with Myst, aren't you, Gemini?
Almost.
Never done with Myst.
I got a quick time event video I'm working on about Myst-like games. Then I'm kind of done with it for a while.
It begins and ends with piss.
I'm never
Please
touching
tell me.
piss.
No, do it. Do it.
I've already seen videos on it.
I mean, it's like 5 minutes long, so. Well, not just for John Goodman, for John Goodman's song at the end.
Yeah, no.
Aren't there, like...
Although, granted, Pissed is probably a better Myst game than Revelation. Because fuck Revelation.
And also the plots of End of Ages.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm an extremely untrustworthy person. Trust me.
Her crabbiness is currently playing Myst.
I don't think I'll do
No,
that.
that's actually... I actually kind of praised Escher because he was the one thing in that game I could fucking understand.
Well, I mean, at least Escher's kind of clear about what he wants, whereas, what's her face, Adrian's daughter, is like, I'm as vague as my father. Do things for me. It's like, no, you and your family can start off. and before anybody else, yes, I've played this game. You have to know your enemy.
Yeah, they introduced.
I can even pronounce Saavedra.
You know what? It took a good friend of mine nearly dying from kidney disease for me to play King's Quest. I don't want to even speculate what sort of ill has to befall any friend of mine for me to actually play through the Myst games.
Might I recommend you sort of set your level at zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Don't worry, trolls. I did it for you.
To go back to it.
Viral outbreak, just sort of zombie viral outbreak. That'll be it, and that'll be the last SQH streams ever. It's just welcome to the apocalypse. Let's play some fucking Myst. Are you with me?
Oh, and off my humanity fucks.
I played through Myst, so you didn't have to.
The nice thing about Myst is that whether you play it or you don't, you still get just as much enjoyment out of it.
Turn this handle. Get frustrated. Turn this handle some more. Congratulations, you lose.
Be alone.
Try to work out how anybody goes to the toilet on Myst Island.
They shit in the water. It's like the Starship Enterprise.
Oh no! If you look
had to get
at the blueprints, I like to imagine everyone just shits in the fountain with the boat in it.
They're shitting the torpedo too.
This will lift it to the surface.
But you know what? It actually does make sense to only have one toilet aboard the Starship Enterprise, because I imagine it's one of those like big, like there's multiple cubicles and shit, and people can just teleport there. They can. They don't.
I also
ensuite bathrooms.
Well, I just don't know whether you sort of teleport the shit out of you just directly. You know, you don't even have to get up for your stages. So press the button.
That's gonna require a ton of. I mean, it's one thing if you have like solid mass, but if it's one of those squibbly-dibbly.
Well, yeah, but what else is Chief O'Brien doing all day? I mean, it's. Yeah.
Experimenting on wildlife and poop, apparently. Just going, all right, Mittens, we're going to put you on the teleporter pad now, and poof! Did that end up in the litter box? No, your big intestine did. Okay, I'm so sorry, Mittens. Oh, you're dead. Okay.
Data, bring in Spot the
Third. Data goes, you know, I don't have emotions, but this really annoys me. Go over in the corner and recharge yourself.
Come on, sir. Kramer.
No, I think it would be. I think it'd be like a good way of just doing it, so that you wouldn't have to ever like leave your chair during your shift.
ID, please.
I always thought that when they bring in, I mean, every time something exciting happens, for some reason the dude at the comm gets replaced. Like there's a dude sitting there, like doing nothing. He's basically the screensaver, and then shit happens, and Data comes in and just goes, "You're relieved, son."
Or it could be worse. At least if it's Data, it's a super intelligent android. Well, it's Wesley.
You're relieved. No, I'm not.
You know how you spent years striving to become the best of the best of the best of Starfleet Academy, and you were posted to the Federation flagship where you have this minor but important job in the chain of command? Well, your job is now going to be done by this obnoxious 14-year-old. If it helps, in 30 years he'll be quite cool.
He will be quite cool in 30 years. Also, he will be magically transported away by a bald pedophile.
Yes. but then who isn't?
Yeah, well, it's a debatable issue, I believe.
Sir, you're not wearing pants.
Why are so many people not wearing pants? Is that a British thing? Also,
well, yeah, because technically you could get away with not wearing pants in England, so they're trousers. They just all go commando, but they got forgetful.
So here's a question for the Australian contingent.
We call it both.
You call
pants
it both.
And trousers.
Okay,
trousers and pants.
And there you have it.
Up is down.
Summer and winter.
Yeah. Cats and dogs living together.
Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria.
Boy, that's
except when giant spiders walk in for some reason.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that. They're our good friends.
That is just Tuesday.
It must be Tuesday.
Must be Wednesday. I can never get the hang of Wednesdays.
That's Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't going to say it, but he is right.
Yes.
My favorite book. I will not have it misquoted.
It's my favorite book too. I can't believe I did misquote.
You lie!
It's been a while since I read it. And the chat fell silent because of my stupidity. Is that dude's belly hanging out, and does he have a man bun, and is that actually a woman?
That's a woman, but she's wearing band clothing, so I've sent her away.
Well, it did have a bra on as well, actually. But then again,
Marcus. Here you come, Marcus.
I like how you're able to really multitask. Like this demonstrates how you know the importance of having a multitasking mind. Because you're able to sit here and have this conversation with us and still be able to concentrate on all the fuckery that's going on screen.
Well, funnily, the last time that I streamed this game, I ended up talking about Myst as well. Pretty much saying, yeah, not for me.
for an hour and a half. Not
well,
for me.
yeah,
Nope,
what's it called? Good friend of mine, Dal, he sometimes co-commentates with me. He really loves Myst, and I really don't. I need to... coolness.
That is a scary tiki mask over on the left. That silhouette of... God.
But,
so, can you let someone in with a shank and they accidentally do stab someone inside and then it turns into...
No, sadly.
Sadly, no. As soon as they enter, it's like, hey, that guy had a shank, man.
Remember the guy inside the building is actually good at this job?
Yeah, the psychic radio just sort of jumps in and...
Who's manning the radio, incidentally? Is it the bartender?
Yeah.
It's... I think that explains everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Quite succinct. Vroika.
Pray for Viglov. Seeing it if you will join. She's shady as shit.
No, I like her. She did drop a piano on my foot, but...
yeah, my mom's okay.
Yeah. She's gonna sleep with Dave eventually.
Again, that's saved for the DLC.
No, that didn't happen in the game.
Just to recap, we are celebrating the adventure games of 2018. Now, would you agree or disagree that this is perhaps stretching the definition of an adventure game?
I would say it's stretching it. I would say it's stretching it like Stretch Armstrong being stretched behind two lorries, which in turn are in the dimension of Stretch on Stretcher Day.
But I didn't feel like playing what's it called, Detroit Become Human. I didn't want to have to hook up my PS4 to my computer.
Well, I will take this over anything David Cage has shat out. Thank you.
I didn't actually mind it as much. Some of it's quite ham-fisted, and the fact that, you know...
Yeah, the story, the writing...
The writing, and, you know, like, they basically make the point that, you know, robots don't care about gender. And yet then, the leader of the resistance can only get with a female robot. It's like, but they don't care. Why can't he go with one of the male robots?
My favorite bit is still when you're walking around town at the start and a guy starts shouting at your character for being a robot, and it's just that sort of sense of, do you not realise that in your mind you're shouting to Kettle?
Yeah. And you're basically telling the Kettle to have emotions.
Or, you know, things like, you know, robots having to go at the back of the bus. You know, well, when that's people, that's bad, but they are literally robots. It's fine.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they could probably get in with the bags underneath the bus rather than needing a sort of section. It's like, you know, the robots don't care because they're robots. and it's not really
program them with emotions. That would be better.
And it's not really until the main guy decides that he's going to liberate everyone by forcibly drafting them into his rebellion that, oh, wait a minute, no, that just destroys the entire point of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like Detroit.
No.
Alright, I'm just gonna put it out there. I must admit I'm just jumping on the David Cage bash train, because the only David Cage game that I've actually played any substantial amount of is Omicron the Nomad Soul, which I quite enjoyed actually. And I've played a little
look at
bit.
I mean, the first hour of Omicron's not too bad, and then the first hour of Fahrenheit is actually brilliant.
Oh, the first 5 minutes is the best thing ever.
And then unfortunately the rest of the game happens, and yeah.
Yeah, see, I never finished Omicron. Maybe that's the problem.
Nobody finished Omicron. It's basically Omicron effectively dies when Kale does.
Oh, well,
because things up to that point, it's like it's a fairly, well plotted, sort of structured mystery, and then after that, it's just melts.
I got up as far as meeting David Bowie and then falling asleep because he has a gigantic monologue. It puts Ragnar Turnquist to shame. The amount of bullshit this person can spew. Poor fucking.
Well, the ending of Omicron is amazing. Is anybody likely to actually play it? And worried about spoilers?
I'd like to play it. I'm going to forget about it by the time that you.
Okay, well, basically, the gimmick of Omicron is that at the start of the game, you're told that you're going to be going through this dimensional portal in your computer and taking over the body of this guy called Kale 16 or something like that. And what you find out later on in the game is that actually that's a lie. That a demon is basically controlling everything and is trying to steal your soul, as in literally your soul. Which he sort of captured via the game, and then you basically kind of get to the end, like the demon's there, and he's like, if you lose this fight, you will lose your soul. There will be no rewinds. There will be no loading. And then if you die, you just reload the same game, and and
the whole meta thing just sort of falls.
Kind of collapses.
Still, I think the weirdest game that tries to pull that type of stunt is probably Gag the Impotent Mystery to me.
Sorry, which one?
Gag the Impotent Mystery.
That is definitely a weird one.
Yeah, it is.
It's a weird Russian FMV game, which is very weird.
Let me step you through this. The main character, he's impotent because he got bitten on the penis by a poisonous penguin.
Oh, I thought we were going to say spider. I'm actually...
Spider wag, no.
Yeah, and then
at least the penguin is a story you can tell at a bar.
Yeah, but then the penguin comes around and acts as a censor for all the nudity in the game.
Yeah, and also he's a spy, whose boss keeps on calling him up to shout at him, while his very racist caricature landlord demands payment in weird items. Like, it's a very odd game.
And then you send stuff down to the Chinese shop downstairs, which is horribly racist at the same time as...
It's like Breakfast at Tiffany's times 12.
Wow.
But it does...
Okay, yep.
It does end with a robot dancing. Like, a full-on mecha just dancing. And then the game crashing, and I'd streamed this game for like 7 hours, and I just broke.
It also has an almost unplayable porno version of Tetris.
Yeah, there's a video on my channel called How to Break Resulka's Mind, and it's literally 2 hours of me trying to work out what the fuck that game is.
And there's a sequel. Well, kind of.
Yeah, but it's not translated into English, so I just basically went,
Spider-Wang.
It sort of forms a good double pack with, what's the other one? Days of Forever or something like that?
Days of Oblivion.
Days of Oblivion, that's it. Which is kind of very similar in the what the hell is going on, where you kind of have Elvis flying a spaceship and things like that.
This is obscure fucking weird game theater with Resulka and Richard Cobbett. I've never heard of these games, and I'm sort of like, I'm torn between really wanting to find out about it and valuing my sanity on the other hand.
I think...
Well, for gag, you can look it up on a crapshoot that I wrote.
Yeah.
I don't think I never actually did Days of Oblivion, although it was on my list. Because it had too many... there's like 2 of them, and they're basically kind of very sort of German adventure games, which is they're basically life support systems for bad porn clips.
Yeah. But there's Ghostly Desires.
Oh, I remember that one. I haven't played it now, but I think you did.
No.
Someone did, and I watched some of it somehow.
Possibly, because because I haven't actually played it because I can't get it to run. But the reason why I was looking it up was because you know, like that game, the last game jam I was part of, I called that game Ghostly Desires. So I was like, oh, and then I was just looking up and I went, oh my god, it's Jocelyn from Phantasmagoria 2.
Oh no.
If you want to play the worst adventure game in the world, it's called Slaughtered Roommates.
Oh yeah.
Slaughtered Roommates. Wow.
There is genuinely no worse adventure game out there.
It's worse than Hopkins FBI.
It is worse than Hopkins FBI. It's basically what people thought.
Entertaining.
Slaughtered Roommates is basically what people thought that Night Trap was, which is that it's a story about like 3 co-eds, and you basically decide how they die. It's essentially like putting a bag over someone's head and strangling them.
Why is there an ISO demo download? I know.
Because that's Adventure Legends,
yeah,
and ISO demo is code for. ISO demo is code for entire game. Please don't take it down.
Yeah, please don't tell anyone it's the full game. I mean,
Well, it is a 584 megabyte download, so I was like, what? That is a huge demo.
Yeah, everything on Adventure Legends says ISO demo, and it's always full game.
Oh shit! You know what? Is it too late to change what game you want to play on this stream? Oh shit!
You would not get it on Twitch. Put it that way.
No.
It is literally nothing but video clips of a guy murdering 3 naked women.
I don't know, like what's it? Oh. There's also Voyeur.
Gemini suddenly perked up.
Voyeur is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, Voyeur is mostly boring, and like nothing actually happens in that game.
I don't know. The one time I tried playing it on stream, I ended up killing someone really quickly.
This is honestly an adventure game. It just seems like you choose the method by which they'll die: electrocution, strangling, suffocation, shootings, throats that cut in half by a pendulum blade, and more. You'll see 14 different murders, and you get 2 different endings to choose from. It lasts 60 minutes and has topless nudity, violence, and gore.
You see, it has branching paths. It has moral choices.
What is this called again?
Slaughtered Roommates.
Jesus Christ, this looks fucking ridiculous. Screenshots! Yes, I am going to look at screenshots.
That might be all that you can show.
The screenshots redirect to something that does not exist.
Aww.
I am okay with that somehow. Okay. My god. Yeah, alright, cool. So we know that exists. Sadly, it was not made in 2018, so it falls outside of the realms of...
Indeed, maybe...
It was talked about in 2018.
Isn't everything talked about? By that method, we could start playing Gag and Impotent Mystery. And you can basically see Fabio in action.
Did you say Impudent Mystery?
Yeah, that's what that
game... Impotent.
Yeah, Impotent.
Impudent.
Impotent.
No, impotent. As in a man whose penis doesn't work.
How many times can we say impotent?
Because impudent.
No, impotent.
Sounds like a cool title. But
impotent.
Yes.
I will just over-enunciate everything.
No, but I am going to make a game called Impudent Mystery because that is such a good title. It's the rudest, most disrespectful mystery you've ever heard.
Ooh.
And I will let you know when I figure out what the mystery is.
Sounds very obstinate.
There's a guy from Andromeda in the chat.
Oh, hello, guy from Andromeda. Which guy from Andromeda would it be?
Guy from Andromeda.
And that would be one of the participants in the Space Quest Olympics. Johnny, I believe his name was.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Yes.
Yeah, I see guys from Andromeda.
He was the one that kicked all the asses, wasn't he?
Scott.
Scott's around again, by the way. He's been retweeting stuff on Twitter. He had to move again. I mean, oh god, yeah. So
will the movie never end? I don't know. It's been. I've been trying to move for 4 months now. I'm finally gonna get there soon. The house ends in.
Congratulations. Says the fake guy in the chat. Yeah, he has a real Andromedan nose. I think he cut it off someone.
Ooh.
Or maybe just glued a hot dog wiener to his face.
Bye, hey crappiness. We love you.
Bye. We love you. I'm still subscribed to your channel for fear of everything reprisal-ish.
Good.
You should too.
Ooh, jump. Jump. Here's my work visa, sir. Take my whole bag.
And my life. And yes, the donation ticker is going to keep repeating everyone who donates. So we're just hoping that eventually it'll take half an hour to scroll by.
Ooh. The first time I played this game, because you know, like it starts with a hello Fenris. But it starts with basically it shows you like a year in advance and then takes you back, and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna have to play every single month of this game? It had me the fears.
You think you have to write an entire year's worth of the game?
Finish the DLC, by the way.
There's only so many times you can do 3 jobs for me and become my head bouncer before you kind of start to run out of ideas for weird people to run nightclubs.
I like this guy too. I don't know. Does this guy have a name?
Which guy is it?
It's the Indie Fest guy.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't.
Well, or rather, I think of him as the festival guy. He just gets. I
know this guy. The festival guy who basically hates music.
Yeah.
Scooge the Girl is probably my favourite.
Ace of Base.
You sick. I love the fact that the power generator says Gen X on it. and they spelled tunes.
Yeah.
Oh, gag me with a man bun.
Well, how about I gag you with the poo-poo?
I love some of the fake rock. Because obviously, we licensed the music for the game, so we didn't want to be mean about any of the actual writers. But you had to come up with some sort of fake indie names, and we ended up getting a lot of mileage on the Scooge and the Girl.
At least it wasn't Splooge and the Girl.
Well, we had a few people say, are they based on anyone in particular? Like, no, I just thought it sounded funny. Scooge and the Girl is Satan's ringtone.
If I was coming up with indie band names, I would think of things like Mindless Tedium or the pleasurable sound
Alexander
of Dalton.
Is around. Our lovely Alexander. Does human interact?
Does he in fact interact with humans?
He sometimes interacts with humans.
Hello, Human Interact. You may interact with us. We are humans. We are humans.
Are we though?
Possibly.
I think I might be a dancer. No, I'm not.
Tarquin Futtock.
Hey, Tarquin. Yes, he's probably the most hateful character in the game.
Oh, Futtock Smythe. What a pleasant surname that man had.
I'm Tarquin
Futtock
Smythe. I'm a Futtock of the Futtock Smythes. Doesn't he kind of get off on the fact that you don't let him in?
Well, he comes back later and starts demanding drugs.
Yeah.
He's off to jerk off in one of the poo-poos. I actually briefly, speaking of bad indie games, bad indie bands.
While we're playing this game, speaking of bad indie games.
Bad indie music, I briefly had a Tumblr blog where I would take templates for mock-ups, CD mock-ups. Take templates for that, put in weird public domain images, and describe the albums.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna paste that into chat. It's called Shit Your Mom Listens To.tumblr.
Lovely.
And the first one
is... see it now while Tumblr is still around.
Yeah. Not Enough Coffee in the World by Spinning Wheels, and the cover is just a woman with her face down, planted on her desk.
My mother listens to a lot of Neil Young.
Shit Your Mom Listens To.
Yeah. Like
my mom listens to a lot
of Neil Young.
Oh god. I don't think, gun to head, I couldn't name a single Neil Young song.
God, I can name so many and I don't want to.
I think there was that thing going around on Twitter last night, pop culture holes in your, pop culture, yeah, right. That might make you lose followers, and I said, fuck Lord of the Rings. I should have said, I don't know who Neil Young is.
I have never seen Alien. I've never seen any of the Alien films, I've never seen Die Hard.
Meh, they sound boring to me. I haven't seen them either.
Samuel L. Jackson was actually pretty good.
Well, I've seen the third one. I saw the third one on a plane. It was the edited version, in which the evil villain makes Bruce Willis walk around Harlem wearing a sandwich board that says, "I hate everybody."
Oh, yeah. Oh, the censored version. Well, the uncensored version is not something we should be repeating.
I'm aware. But it was just... It was sort of somewhat it was somewhat weird at the time because it had like the guy coming up saying, "You're going to get killed if you go walking around like that," and it's like, really? Maybe getting some odd looks, but told to shut up.
Oh, that's a knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. No, not even
play
50
knifey spoony. That's not a knife, that's a knife. Ooh,
she had a knife, so I sent them all home.
Yeah, guy from Andromeda is going, there's a censored version of Die Hard 3. It's interesting. There are censored versions of pretty much every Hollywood movie you've seen. Do yourself a favor, go on YouTube and find the censored version of The Big Lebowski, the scene where John Goodman destroys a car.
Oh boy.
He's shouting, this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. That's the uncensored version. The censored version is a brilliant piece of surrealist comedy.
There was one where they did for Shaun of the Dead, where they had to put it on the DVD as a special feature. Funky Pete or something like that. Because they had to replace all words like a big swear. They were like, you funking shut up, otherwise you funking do this.
Oh God.
That's Master fucking Smythe to you, you oily little scrot.
Oily little scrot!
What the hell is a scrot? Is it a scrotum?
Yeah, basically.
You fucked me, hero, and now I'm going to fuck you.
There's a line blatantly stolen from Ripper.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was just going to that.
Now I get you.
It's such a fantastic line, and no one's played Ripper, so yes, that's stolen from Ripper.
It's such a shame that the audio in that area is just so underbalanced that you can barely hear John Rhys Davies.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly, because he does that with such menace. I'm going to fuck you. Ooh, really?
Yeah, you fucked me, now I'm going to tell you how I'm going to fuck you. Will there be actual fucking involved?
Damn it! Damn it, Richard!
I think I love the fact that Rhys Davies is one of those guys who has been in the most stunning shit, but always comes along and gives his A game. I respect that.
He doesn't have any legs, though.
No, that's the other thing, because the composition on that scene is so weird.
That is so true. Oh my God, I've completely forgotten about that. The blue screen work in Ripper is both brilliant and a bumbling mess all at the same time. My favourite effect in Ripper is they've got that scene of the guy exploding, having his like sort of guts kind of coming out of his stomach, and it's such a bad effect. They have to show it, but they also have to cut away. Like, cut away fast. You know, we don't want to linger on this terrible special effect. But the thing is, I remember that was a shot they used in the preview material when they were still proud of it.
Oh, wonky donkey! I bought that book for one of my nieces for Christmas.
Oh, I love this dialogue. Indie rock is hell's elevator music. Scrooge the girl is Satan's ringtone.
He has a point. Have you ever played Life is Strange? Come on.
Life is Strange is the only thing I really remember at Life is Strange is the line "Go fuck your selfie."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not good. But I was talking about the licensed music in Life is Strange.
Yeah.
It's all acoustic indie music.
Well, it's that scene at the start where she's walking through the school. There's basically sad music in the background. We will make you feel something.
At least least it's better than the unlicensed music in Hopkins FBI.
Oh, you can't stand the smokers, can't you?
Oh yeah, Ikifu just put in another line from Ripper in the chat. What's in that teacup anyhow? Well, we're all into.
Oh yeah, your ass, my boy.
Ass. Oh god, that scene, and it comes so late in the game. Most people have given up by the point that scene comes in.
It's so late. It's also so point. It has nothing to do with anything.
No.
It's like, you know, are you funding the Ripper? Maybe. Well, that was extremely useful.
We just basically got John Rhys-Davies in, and we forgot to write a scene for him. So here you go.
And to add insult to injury, they misspelled his name in the credits.
Yes, they did. Oh god. Oh, we need to play Ripper at some point. It's such a fucking long game too. Takes
it's long and the puzzles are so boring, and you know the.
Oh god, but there is that one beautiful.
Just walking around the Metacog is just.
Oh, that's sorry, Mr. Fuddick, you're out of here.
But there is that one beautiful puzzle where you get to torture.
Now we laugh at the name Tarquin Fuddick Slide. This is me remembering your face, Euro. You don't want me remembering your face.
Now everyone laugh at the Fuddick.
Go Fuddick off. I do think that Take-Two's interactive movies and their special guests were amazing.
Yeah.
Certainly Hell, Cyberpunk Thriller. Everyone always talks about you know, Dennis Hopper, but it's Grace Jones's role, which is really humiliating.
I've never actually played that, but they sort of 3D modeled them. It wasn't until Ripper and Black Dahlia.
Very badly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
It's
Great. I forgot Grace Jones was in Hell.
But the thing is that Dennis Hopper's at least there as like a devil. But you know, Grace Jones is there as like the androgyne or something like that. It's very weird, sort of very weird setup.
Not good.
But I mean, the entire Hell is a bit weird. It's weird that the same guys basically Bloodnet, Hell, and Ripper, and they never seem to realise they are bad at cyberpunk.
Oh my god! Look at all these people with the same shirt in a row.
Wow. Probably saw some Tesco.
I think
Walmart was having a sale, apparently.
Maybe there was a cult somewhere that had a day off.
I mean, in fairness, at least Bloodnet lets you literally delete Dracula from the internet, so that's quite funny. But yeah,
I just picked up Bloodnet on sale, by the way. I think GOG had it on their.
It is almost unplayable.
It's one of those things that I remember playing it like the first bit of it back when it was just on Good Old Games, not Good Old Games, Home of the Underdogs, and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is gonna be really good. I don't have time to play it right now, but when I do, oh boy! And then when I got to that, I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah, the interface.
Bad. Rest of it.
The opening is amazing. It's like kind of this is going to be brilliant, and then you start the actual game, and everyone is just talking bullshit, and you know, all the dialogues go on for hours, and the combat system is the worst. You can't find anything in the rooms, and then you delete them, and then you delete the devil, Dracula from the internet. So that's quite fun.
That's the best way of getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Discord just died.
What's that other one? The no, I'm not thinking of Return of the Phantom. There's that Dracula game where
Dracula in London.
Yeah.
Dracula Resurrection.
Dracula Unbound.
Dracula. Oh, Unleashed, I think so.
Unleashed, yeah, Unleashed. Unbound.
Dracula
Unleashed.
There's also Dracula Deception and the Dracula Epiphany, which is
Epiphany was best.
Which is I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't it have been fun if Joey in the Blackwell games was an actual vampire instead of a ghost? You should go. Stop biting! They're supposed to grab your tie, you fucko.
I'd play it.
I still need to play the other games.
Oh, there's a deep dive. I haven't been so depressed with modern youth since Betty Boo did the do.
To paraphrase Eddie Izzard, or Izzard, Iggy says, let's see, delete Dracula from the internet, double click on yes.
Maybe talk about Steve, who's God's other son. Check.
I've watched, Eddie Izzard's live shows, especially Dressed to Kill and Definite Article, are two of my favorite stand-up shows of all time. And the dude just sounds like he has no script, no plan. It's just tumbling out of him.
I really like Glorious.
That's pretty good too, yeah.
Yeah, I think Glorious is the one that, for a while when I used to fly on Qantas, that it would always be in their music library, so I would always put it on and like put the eye mask on and just be like, I'm gonna fall asleep listening to Eddie Izzard on loop.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think I'm just trying to work out whether or not there's a joke in an episode of Father Ted called like the one where they're on a plane, and there's a gag where there's a priest who's listening to comedy on his earphones, and he says it's Mr. Bean. I really want to know if that's an intentional joke or not.
I think it might be. There was a real divide between people who enjoyed the comedic stylings of Rowan Atkinson's.
No, what I mean is that he's listening to it.
He's listening just to listening to it.
And Mr. Bean's like obviously visual comedy. It's like, is this an intentional joke, or do they just write it just not think about it?
No, if he's sorry, I missed the bit where he was not.
But I think there's no laugh. There's no kind of pause for a laugh. It's just I'm listening to comedy. It's Mr. Bean.
that has got to be a subtle.
Whereas, like, what's it called? Like, I love Rowan Atkinson when he's not Mr. Bean. I hate Mr. Bean. I really hate Mr. Bean. I hate Mr. Bean with all my heart.
I like to imagine that. I like to imagine when Mr. Bean gets home, he turns out to be Toby.
I remember watching that live.
Goodbye, Mr.
He did a live show. He did a live show with some other dude, sometime in the 80s. There's like it's just released as Rowan Atkinson live, and there are some.
I've got that. I love that one. Do you also have live in Belfast?
I've never seen that. The other one I saw repeatedly as a kid, and I think that's where I got some of my exaggerated pronunciations from. Is Rowan Atkinson, especially the
Dirty School Names.
Oh, the Dirty School Names is good. I mean, it was really good when I was a kid. But the one that stuck with me is the either it's the Fatal Beatings one with the principal.
That's just my burning sense of humor.
Yes, my academic sense of humor. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been pulling your leg. Your son is not dead.
No. It wasn't that he wasn't dead. He just wouldn't cancel Sunday. He wouldn't cancel school for him to bury him.
Wouldn't cancel school to bury that little shit. The other one is the dad-in-law's speech at the wedding. I should like to propose a toast to the caterers and the pigeon who crapped on the groom's family's limousine at the church.
No, like so, live in Belfast, it's him and Angus Deaton, and they're mostly
that's his name, yeah.
Yeah, they're mostly singing, and so like it's got a song that Angus Deaton wrote. That's called. That actually was quite fitting.
What happened to my career? What happened to my career?
No, it's before that. But it's called I Hate the French. And it's weird. I love that song. It's just so perfectly put together. We offered kindly to donate them Calais, and all they gave us back was the bidet. And now they won't let us go on holiday.
I prefer Rowan Atkinson when he is deadpan and very sinister. I mean, the opening skit of that first live show when he's the devil. Good evening.
Toby.
You can call me Toby if you like. We try to keep things informal as well as infernal.
Yes, the fires are infernal and your stay is eternal.
Yeah. That's just a little joke. Have you ever, there's not the 9 o'clock news? Yeah, I tell that guy.
I've seen some of it, yeah.
Yeah, so
heard of that,
I've actually never seen any of it, but I was given a radio special of the best of, and I'm pretty much I've got it committed to memory at this point.
The funny thing about the 9 o'clock news is that most of it just is lost. In that, you know, it's reshown, but it used to be reshown quite a bit. But they were like sort of the special best of versions itself, and loads of sketches never kind of got. Like they had a whole load of like news reports and things that were never repeated because it was sort of like not timely anymore.
Well, it's kind of like, what's it called? A lot of the Goon Show went missing, and the BBC just has no records of it. They've got the script, but they don't have the actual.
This is more because it was just sort of deemed like this won't be funny and anymore. Whereas you have to like drop the donkey, which just starts off the episodes by saying this was first broadcast the week when this and this happened.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? We have 2 minutes left. We have 1 minute left.
We have
of the
1 minute
stream.
left, and I was about to say I'm not going to stand another round because we're going to be saying goodbye to not tonight.
Yeah. I mean, my God, this turned into quite an enjoyable stream. What a surprise. No,
For some reason.
And Officer Cedric seems to approve. I think he just winked at me. Or maybe I needed more sleep.
Officer Cedric, who is not wearing pants in either the British or American form.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely.
Oh, just imagine getting pulled over by an officer wearing an owl's mask and no pants. May I see your license and registration? May I see yours?
No, I do this just to the entire thing without ever actually acknowledging it. Yeah.
Just go through the whole mode. Sir, can you step out of the vehicle, please? Really?
Yeah. Well, so to finish this out,
is there something funny, citizen?
Everyone at once, please.
Yes. Now, obviously, I'm going to be going away, and who's next on our ticker?
Who is next?
That would be the Wanderer.
That would be the other Australian.
Yes, the Australians want to get in and out.
Hello.
Well, at least you don't have to deal with Brexit.
By the way, Richard, you're always welcome to come and stay in my cottage.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so I hope you guys.
All you got to do is move Australia closer, so there's not such a horrible flight, and I might consider it. and also get rid of all the snakes and the spiders and people called Julian.
I could do the last thing for you. But yeah, so I hope you guys have been enjoying this, and I'm going to be going away now and passing to another good friend of ours. And yes, it was wonderful and delightful seeing you all. Please
thank you so much for streaming.
Please give generously.
Please tip your waiter.
Yeah.
The stream will be going offline for like a minute or two, and then it'll come right back, so don't panic, everyone.
Yes, never panic. We will be here for the long haul.
Panic now.
I think Summer's got that covered in the chat.
Bye.